Hey guys, welcome to this new episode of Client Experiences that we're going to start sharing. And this is Seth. Seth, I'll let you introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself and what you do, where you're from.
Okay. Well, originally I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved out here to Los Angeles to work as a systems engineer and always had some entrepreneurial interests.
Hmm.
So, besides me working, like I always wanted to try to cultivate some type of schedule to where I could just work and develop that myself outside of, you know, working as a systems engineer. And I just never had I guess I had a problem with procrastination more than anything else.
Hmm.
And I felt like I had just a lot of knowledge about certain subjects, but I just couldn't put it all together. That was kind of the issue that I had, and that's why I sought out Quazi and everything that he offered.
Yeah, totally, man. So let me ask you this. What was life like before the reality mastery program? What really did you resonate about me? Why did you choose to join the program in the
I
first
chose
place?
to I chose to join the program because I came across your YouTube content and really just from watching just a couple videos, like just the things that I focused on, I realized that I was being plagued by focusing on the negativity in life and things that I don't like, and that just resonated with me so deeply. And I just, I was kind of one who detested mediocrity, and I felt like I was falling into that, like I was
Hmm.
falling into the whole mundane schedule. So, like, I just respected the content, and I gained a tremendous value on it, and like the quality of my life started to change before I even started the program, just from watching the YouTube video. So I just
Hmm.
was interested. That just piqued my interest, and I
That's
just
so
wanted to take it
awesome.
to the next level.
It's so crazy because where are you an engineer at?
I'm an engineer at Raytheon, which
Raytheon.
is hmm so they're like a defense contractor in El Segundo in California.
Gotcha. That's
Hmm
awesome, man. It's your story is so much similar to mine. It's crazy you found
Yeah.
me out because I recently graduated back then when I started my business as well. And I was like, okay, I don't want to go towards mediocrity. Why continue at the same pace over and over again? Right?
mm
What's really the point? So
Right.
yeah, I sought out answers as well. Uh, I didn't really have this system back then. It was just all refining trial and error. And it's interesting to see how quickly you've actually gotten results with this. So yeah,
Mm.
that's where I wanted to get to. I mean, what was the biggest thing you were struggling with before the program, first of all?
Before the program, like I said, procrastination was huge. I would say, in addition to that, I just felt like I wasn't putting everything together. Everything was so inconsistent with me. Like I would start doing the good habits and things that that I knew to do that were good, but I just couldn't stick to them. So you know, I hated being uncomfortable. And even now, I still, it feels uncomfortable. I haven't got to the point where I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, but I seek it out now.
Uh-huh.
But before I wouldn't seek it out at all. Like especially before the program, I wouldn't seek being uncomfortable to grow and expand at all. So I just felt like, yeah, I was just a slave to my likes and my dislikes, and
Hmm.
I just knew if I stayed that way, I wouldn't grow and wouldn't get to where I wanted to be ultimately. So that was all.
Yeah, totally, man. I remember like when we got on the call, you were talking to me about how you were going towards this business opportunity, and
Mm,
you were seeing that other people were doing well on it, and your goal was like very. This is what we get common. We have a lot of engineers in the program who also suffer with the same thing you went through, and I'm just surprised to see how quickly you've made the results, how quickly you've made the jump. A lot of engineers they want to transition out, they want to go into entrepreneurship, but they procrastinate. At the end of the day, they don't have energy left. I'm really
right.
curious to know, how you overcame that. What was the biggest takeaway for you? What was the biggest breakthrough for you?
I'm honestly, upon me focusing on what I wanted to do, like it was just, I guess like a voice in my head just started cultivating because of me just changing what I focus. I started focusing on the goals and the dreams that I had. And as a result of just me just changing, how you always say, focus is movement towards something.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was the seed. And then it began to progress into like a voice just in my head, like, and it was just, I just realized that like I wasn't ever going to get this magic feeling of like, because I felt like before the start of the program, I was just looking for a magical feeling where everything would just piece together and I would just
Hmm.
start doing everything that I need to do and stick to it. And I just realized that that's not the case. And I just put it in perspective because you make the shift at the identity level through this program. It was just like everything just started to click, and like then my thought process became different, and I began to see things in a different light, and I felt like that was
Totally,
like the
man.
catalyst.
Your own
Hmm.
perception of the world, how you viewed everything, how you viewed your everyday opportunity, that changed, right?
Yeah, and what resonated with me is when you talk about like how two people, like you talk about the abusive dad and how they come out completely different, but they experience the exact same thing. So I was just like, you know, I that stuck with me. I'll never forget that. I mean, had just never came across an analogy like that, and it just is too. I mean, it's kind of like a motivating and a driving force to me, like to keep on keeping on because like that. I mean, I feel that is just so powerful. It's just like you could experience the same. It's not about what you experience; it's about who you are.
Hmm.
So I was saying that alone I would say is what like kept me like even when I don't feel like it I stick to it because of just that. It's all about who you are. So
Totally, man. Yeah.
hmm
So what I'm seeing in you, it's like that fire has been ignited.
yeah,
That's what was missing before the
exactly.
call. Even when I listen to you right now, it's like, okay, something is different about this guy.
Right. It's just it's just that like I said, it was just changing myself and how I thought because I felt like I had such a destructive thinking pattern going
Gotcha.
on in my head before
Hmm.
I engaged in this program, and it's like now it's like I'll admit like how you say that you provided the technique where you kind of like feel in your solar plexus the old you resurfacing, and but like so sometimes I experience that, but I don't let it deter me.
Dude,
So
that is crazy. That's a
hmm
big evolution. A lot of people, the biggest reason why people fail in this journey is like they are driven by their feelings, whatever they feel good about. It's like so much identification with the thought and the feeling. The thought and the feeling, they're all the same. It's just like a different part of it. The thought is like the mind part. The feeling is more of the heart part. It's like the
right
sweeter version of it. But then we let the feelings, the urges drive us. That's why we're never
right
able to break free from the pattern. But it's interesting how you are able to detach from these feelings now, really watch them in the third
yeah
person, which is a big
yeah
evolution not many people make.
right because you had made the point that we attach so many things to ourselves, to our identity that are outside of us and have nothing to do with us, and it's like why would you want to attach something like why would you want to attach a material possession or another person, something that's just completely outside of your control? Like why would you want to attach it to yourself? Like I just and it's crazy too. I have to add this before I forget. It's just like whatever I focused on, like instead of focusing on, I wrote like a list of things to focus on that I wanted to manifest. And it's like, it's kind of crazy because it's like some of those things, like certain things in my life, I was so comfortable like with just accepting them as part of my, my mundane life. And then it's like, now it's like, even if it's not comfortable, like I'll admit, like there's been certain things that haven't been comfortable, but it's just led to growth in order for me to achieve the things that I wrote down on that list that I would like to manifest in my reality. So it's almost like it's like you say, it's a systematic change of your
Hmm.
reality for the better for what you want. It's like it's forcing me to do it, and it's like I like it a lot because I never thought I would be even at this point to where like as a man who just because when I moved out here it was the beginning of adulthood. I before I was living with my parents, so it's like I always had kind of that subconscious fear of um, not being able to be disciplined like on my own.
Mm,
So
gotcha.
you know that alone is just that alone I've got is just like something that I feel like already I've conquered. you know, and because I have the right tools in place, I know how to keep to it. So,
Totally, man.
uh,
Yeah. So I was curious to know, before when we came on the call, you were talking about transitioning into that business that you have. Tell me a bit more about that. How's that going now? What are some highlights and some results you've seen in that?
So that took off. I'll be honest, Quasi, that took off so fast. It was kind of like startling. And so the highlight is I was basically at my position. Um, I'm the number 2 at my position in North America, and I was at the bottom. Like I completely
Dude,
was just yeah. Like I was literally at the bottom. Concerning that. Like I was before I started the program, I was just like, I was known like amongst my peers, I was just seen as like an undisciplined, didn't really take it too serious, like, you know, and it was just like now it's like they look at me and like the energy is completely different, and to be honest, I haven't. It's kind of crazy. It's like I haven't done like an insane amount of work. Like it's more. I feel like it was more so a shift up here, and it was
you
like
come in with a different energy, right?
yeah, it was like my energy and my thought patterns were like just literally attracting. Cause I'll be honest, I guess one thing that I had more than other people is I think I just had a deep, like more faith, I guess, and less doubt. So
Mm.
I felt like how you always mention you could do twice as much work and not get the results, but it's all based off of your thought patterns. So
Totally,
it's
man.
like so I felt like I really cultivated that shift in my thought patterns first, and as a result, like I haven't done as much work as other people in the business, but I've like I said, I might have generated 3-4 times as much results just from the shift in my thought patterns and at that identity level shift. So
Amazing, man.
it's kind of
It's
ridiculous.
key that you should mention that because essentially it's kind of like this. It's like you feel the hard work when you're not in alignment, when you're
Mm,
not clear, you don't have that level of clarity, you're not aligned to that version of yourself. You really feel the hard work. It's like suffering. But when
yes.
you're in the right frame of mind, you're in the right energy, right state, it doesn't feel like hard work anymore. When I do
Right.
12-hour days anymore, I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to wake up and get to work, get on these calls with people, do all of this
Mm,
stuff, make the videos. It's no problem. I love to do it.
right.
Right?
And it's like the thing is, it's like I don't. It's almost like I don't know. It's like I can't. It's like I feel like I can't let myself deviate. Before I felt like it was too easy. I felt like I couldn't get on the right path. Now it's like I can't deviate from that right path now that I'm on it.
You can't stop
And
winning.
yeah, no, well, that's kind of how I feel. Like I'm just being honest. It's just kind of like it's like I know the information now, and it's like I can't unknow it. And it's like like you said, it's about momentum. Like a body that stays at rest tends to stay at rest, and the body emotion tends to be emotion. So it's like
Totally.
you know I'm just grateful because it's like the right tools are in place.
Totally, man.
I felt
So
like
now
that was the
talking
shift.
about a big goal that we had before you got on the call. By the way, you joined the program like 6-7 weeks ago, right? It wasn't even that long, maybe a
Yeah.
couple months ago.
Right.
Yeah. So this all happened in a very short span of time, which was like
Mm.
shocking. I think 4 weeks into the program, you posted in the group, you were like, dude, like I used to have trouble waking up at 8 a.m. Now I'm rolling out of bed at 3:30.
Yeah. Yeah. That I like. I get. Not only do I start like working on my business before work and working on my website and such before work, but I get to work early, and then after I go and I work out, and then by the time I get home, like I still have 2 hours to spare, and so it's like it to be honest, just me doing just little things like that, it makes me. I just feel like it's just like a compounding effect. Like the longer I do it,
Momentum.
yes, it just makes me more proud of the man that I am. And so like I feel like once you become internally proud of who you are, then you just success comes to you even yeah, it
Advantage.
just does exactly. It's like an internal shift. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're no longer thinking of these unworthy thoughts and what you think you can't do. It's like you just
So let me ask
have
you
more
this:
belief in
what is your
yourself.
business? Just having us understand better.
So it's actually a multi. We basically sell utility bills, and we sell services for cheap. So the same services that people buy. So for example, light bill, gas bill, um, Essential service could be considered your cell phone service, TV bundles, TV internet, phone bundles at home, security and automation. Like we work along with those those top companies within the essential service industries, and we basically, through us, they get basically their service for cheaper. So
Gotcha.
that's basically what we do. And man, it's taken off really fast, and it's kind of incredible because I had just no results, and like then it's like whenever I started getting like checks in the mail, and I'm just seeing like all these customer acquisition bonuses coming like literally right into my bank account, and then it's like it was weird because then I was starting to get like money back on my credit card, and all this type of stuff was happening, and then I was starting to get like gifts from my family and stuff like that who never send gifts, and it happened all at the same time. So it was just like, it just seemed like luck, but it was just like how you say you're creating your own luck, you know.
Yeah. It
So
become normal to you, right?
right, it
It's like,
just
oh,
became
this is
normal.
normal.
It just became expected, and it was just like all it was the primary thing was an internal shift, because I'll be honest, I didn't put that crazy maniacal amount of work into it. I just kind of had this shift internally. So
Gotcha.
hmm that's
Great,
not to
man.
say I didn't do anything. That just means
It
like
came from a
it's
different place, a place of
yes,
non-neediness. Yeah.
yes,
Like, I don't need it.
exactly,
I want to do it.
exactly.
Totally, man. So yeah, as I was saying, a big goal we were working towards was getting to financial freedom, quitting your job and doing this business full time. How's that going? How's the progress to that?
It's happening way faster than I thought. To be honest, it's happening way faster than I thought. I'm based off of my schedule. I'm privileged to have every other Friday off, so that I can dedicate more time. Like Sunday, regardless, I dedicate basically the full day to working on my business, but also I can dedicate it on Friday. And before I started this program, when I had my Fridays off, I just sleep in, and
Mm,
it's like I'm still like staying and being able to wake up at 3:30 on a Friday on my Friday off, and dedicate like a 10 to 12 hour day to that. And it's just like it's not easier than sleeping in, but it just I don't know. I'm becoming more proud of the man I'm developing into. So, it's like it in a way it just gives me a peace of mind. And I felt like that's something that I didn't expect to happen. Because early coming into this program, I was more so looking at the results that I could get, as opposed to like how it would make me feel internally, I guess.
mm,
And it's
gotcha.
like that peace of mind, I didn't expect that. And I would say, to be honest, I like that just as much as just the results that I could get in addition to it.
Totally,
So,
man. That's what gives you the results, right? Once you change the internal, the external
hmm
follows. What
hmm
would you say is the biggest highlight, the biggest module, or the most profound module you went through in the program?
um, to be honest, I would say, I think it was week 4. Was that when you were talking about social dynamics and
That's
like
week 5.
or week 5? Okay, so
Yeah.
I say that because like it's true that people become like I for one always became more unconscious around people, and also like I was breathing wrong, like something that literally like we don't even think about doing. Like I was literally breathing shallow breaths my entire life,
Mm,
and it's like the quality of my life changed just from just breathing different, and and truly it has allowed me to manage my thoughts even better, and managing my thoughts before I was even breathing correctly, because I didn't discover it. Like I said, that's a week 5 module, and so like before, the first 4 weeks I was getting results before I even began to breathe correctly, and now it's like I don't know, I didn't expect that to enhance my life. I didn't. It's just something that simple, but just breathing and just like I guess fixing my posture, because I realized I had horrible posture, and it just has, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's something that I didn't expect, and it just has, I guess, greatly enhanced my life in a way, and it allowed me to manage my thoughts even more. So I would say I would say week 5, just for that.
Amazing,
Like,
man.
I didn't expect to get that amount of value from it. I read it and I was just like, I was, and then I started practicing it and then it was like, wow. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know, it
always
was
those
just,
little shifts you make that make the
yeah,
most profound difference.
yeah, it was just like a minute detail and it just completely changed like how I go about my day and the confidence and the energy that I exude around other people. And I
Hmm.
didn't expect something that small to, I never would have thought about something like that, to be honest. So I would say week 5.
Amazing, man. Yeah, amazing. So that's so great. There's a lot of things I'm even learning in this call, just like what you're getting value out of. What's been the biggest profound difference for you? What would you say is the next step for you in your life?
Um, the next step for me in my life, I would say, is just to keep doing what I'm doing, but also, in addition to, because I feel like the action behind, I've been more so making this internal shift, and I've been taking action, but I haven't taken as much action as I think I could. So I'm going to try to dedicate more action behind it as well. And I feel like that will speed up the process even more because I feel like when you take action, it just makes you believe in yourself more, I guess. So I would say that's the next step for me. And then, to be honest, I'm content. I haven't been content in a while because like, I'm not stagnant and I feel like I'm on an upward trajectory in my life.
Mm, mm.
And like, so I'm content on staying on that right path so that I cultivate this upward slope. So I would say that the only thing that I would really change in the next step would just be taking more action to,
Gotcha.
speed everything up.
Amazing, man. I really love to hear that. So, yeah, any parting thoughts? Would you recommend the program to anyone? What kind of people? Who would you recommend the program to?
I would recommend the program to anybody who's serious about taking the next step in their lives. Anybody who's serious in making a lasting change, not an inconsistent change, but a lasting change that will ensure that you systematically reach success and like get away from the things that are holding you back that you may not ever realize are holding you back.
Mm,
That you do simple things that you do every single day, simple thoughts that you think every single day that potentially are like holding you back from living the life that you deeply in your soul want to live. So anybody who's serious about making, a lasting positive change, I would recommend the program to them.
totally, man. And the impressive
Hmm.
thing about you is that you actually went through the program. You doubled down on it. You didn't quit or you didn't backtrack on it. You put in the work and you got out of it what you put in. And
Right.
that's what we see with all the successful people. They get religious about the content, about making this a part of their lives and actually implementing it, not just consuming material. You know, even when it seems like it's not going to work, you still stick with it and you still have faith in the process yields fruit. And
Right. Exactly. And I would say like a big thing also, that the program gave to me that I didn't expect, it allowed me to deal with my emotions a lot better. Like just all, people go through all types of things. Like, they might be in a relationship where they have an attachment to a partner, and
mm,
it's like so many things could influence your state of being and can deter you and affect other parts of your life. You might be goal oriented, but instead you're sitting there worrying about what some other person thinks about you and you're placing your value in it because you realize that you might not realize, but you have an attachment to something external. It's like I didn't expect to get that value out of it. But that's something that, just sitting there being able to like fully experience like what I'm going through has just made the a world of a difference because I realized before the program started, I would always resist. That's all I would
gotcha.
ever do. Like I would always just try to mask over whatever pain I was feeling. And now it's just like life just flows easily. Like I just feel
Mm,
like it just, like how you say that you're not trying to control every little thing in your life, but you're just trying to correct
course
course.
correct.
Hmm.
Beautiful, man.
So,
Amazing.
so
Awesome,
I
man.
would, hmm
Yeah, you're going to
so
say?
no, that was all. I was just kind of, you know, struck by that because that's something I'm trying to trying to remember all I've gained so much value from the program. It's kind of hard to sum it all up. But yeah, that was all. I was just kind of struck by that too.
Awesome, man. Hey, Seth, thank you so much for doing this interview. And for those watching, I hope this was valuable insight into what the program is like, what going through the program is like, and really what you can expect to get out of it. Seth, dude, thank you so much for sharing your honest experience with this. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing your growth even more in the program.
Oh, it's not a problem. Thank you.
Hey, there we go.